In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. The earth was without form and void. There was darkness on the face of the deep, and the Spirit of God moved over the waters. God said, "Let there be light." And there was light. God saw that the light was good, and God separated the light from the darkness. God called the light day, and he called the darkness night. So there was evening and there was morning. That was the first day. God said, "Let there be an expanse between the waters, and let it separate the waters from the waters." And God made the expanse, and separated the waters which were under the expanse from the waters which were over the expanse. And it was so. God called the expanse heaven. So there was evening and there was morning. This was the second day. And God said, "Let the waters which are under the heaven be gathered together into one place, and let the dry land appear." And it was so. And God called the dry land earth, and the mass of waters he called seas. God saw that it was good. And God said, "Let the earth bring forth green plants, grass yielding seed, and fruit trees yielding fruit after their kind, and having their seed in them upon the earth." And it was so. And the earth brought forth vegetation, grass yielding seed after its kind, and trees yielding fruit, having in them their seed after their kind. God saw that it was good. And there was evening and there was morning, the third day. God said, "Let there be lights in the expanse of the sky to separate the day from the night. Let them be signs to mark the times, the days and the years. And let them be lights in the firmament of heaven to give light on the earth." And so it was. God made the two great lights, the greater light to rule the day, and the lesser light to rule the night. He also made the stars. God placed them in the expanse of the sky, to give light to the earth, to rule the day and the night, and to separate the light from the darkness. God saw that it was good. And there was evening and there was morning, the fourth day. And God said, "Let the waters bring forth living creatures in abundance, and let birds fly upon the earth into the firmament of heaven." And God created the great fish and every living thing that moves, and the waters brought forth abundantly after their kind, and every winged bird after its kind. God saw that it was good. And God blessed them, saying, "Be fruitful and multiply, and fill the waters of the seas, and let the birds multiply upon the earth." And there was evening and there was morning, the fifth day. And God said, "Let the earth bring forth living creatures after their kind, cattle, creeping things, and land animals after their kind." And it was so. And God made the beasts of the earth after their kind, and the cattle after their kind, and every creeping thing of the earth after its kind. And God saw that it was good. Then God said, "Let us make man in our image, after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the birds of the air, and over the cattle, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creeps upon the earth." So God created man in his own image, in the image of God he created him, male and female he created them. And God blessed them, and God said unto them, "Be fruitful, and multiply, and replenish the earth, and subdue it, and have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over every living thing that moveth upon the earth." And God said, "Behold, I have given you every herb-bearing seed that is on the face of all the earth, and every tree that has fruit of a tree in it and bears seed, it shall be your food. And to every beast of the earth, and to every bird of the air, and to everything that moves on the earth, having in itself the breath of life, I give every green herb for food." And it was so. And God saw all that he had made, and behold, it was very good. So there was evening and there was morning, the sixth day. Thus were completed the heavens and the earth, and all their host. And God finished his work which he had made on the seventh day, and rested on the seventh day from all his work which he had made. God blessed the seventh day, and sanctified it, because in that day he rested from all his work which he had made. This is the beginning of the heavens and the earth, when they were created. When the Lord God made the earth and the heavens, there was not yet any shrub of the field on the earth, nor any herb of the field springing up. For the Lord God had not caused it to rain on the earth, neither was there any man to till the ground. And there went up a vapor from the earth, and watered the whole face of the ground. And the Lord God formed man of the dust of the ground, and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life, and man became a living being. And the Lord God planted a garden in Eden toward the east, and there he put the man whom he had formed. And the Lord God made to grow out of the ground all manner of trees, pleasant to the sight and good for food, and the tree of life in the midst of the garden, and the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. And a river went out of Eden to water the garden, and from thence it was divided into 4 branches. The name of the first is Pishon. It is the one that surrounds the whole land of Havilah, where the gold is. The gold of this land is pure. There is also bdellium and onyx stone. The name of the second river is Gihon. It is the river that surrounds the whole land of Cush. The name of the third river is Hiddekel, which flows eastward from Assyria. The fourth river is the Euphrates. And the Lord God took the man, and put him into the Garden of Eden to cultivate it, and to keep it. And the Lord God commanded the man, saying, You may eat of every tree in the garden. But you shall not eat of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, for in the day that you eat of it you shall die. And the Lord God said, It is not good that the man should be alone. I will make him a helper like himself. And the Lord God formed out of the earth every beast of the field and every bird of the air, and brought them to the man, to see what he would call them, that every living thing might be called by the name which the man would give it. And the man gave names to all the cattle, and to the birds of the air, and to every beast of the field, but to the man he found no helper like himself. Then the Lord God caused a deep sleep to fall upon the man, and he slept. And he took one of his ribs, and closed up the flesh in its place. And the Lord God formed a woman out of the rib which he had taken from the man, and brought her to the man. And the man said, This time she is bone of my bones and flesh of my flesh. She shall be called woman, because she was taken out of man. Therefore shall a man leave his father and mother, and shall cleave unto his wife, and they shall be one flesh. The man and his wife were both naked, and they were not ashamed.